When DC's most powerful entities collide with Marvel's elite, the outcome is not a matter of opinion. Each matchup is decided using documented feats, on-panel power usage, speed, durability, and real combat outcomes from official canon. No bias, no speculation, just capability versus capability, and a definitive result. When acrobatic precision meets lethal firepower, Daredevil faces Red Hood in a clash of agility, tactics, and raw skill. Blind intuition collides with guns and combat expertise as both warriors push their limits in a fight where every move counts. Daredevil is Matt Murdock, a blind lawyer from Hell's Kitchen whose heightened senses allow him to perceive the world with frightening clarity, despite his lack of sight. He is driven by a relentless sense of responsibility, believing that if he can act, then he must, no matter the personal cost. By day, he clings to the law as a structure for justice. By night, he tests its limits with his own body and blood. His faith, guilt, and anger are not weaknesses, but constant companions that shape every decision he makes. Daredevil represents the struggle to remain good in a broken system, even when doing so hurts more than giving in. Red Hood is Jason Todd, the former Robin who was brutally killed and later resurrected, returning to Gotham forever changed by betrayal, loss, and rage. Where Batman believes in restraint and redemption, Jason believes that some lines are crossed the moment evil is allowed to survive. He operates with precision and lethal intent, viewing crime not as something to be contained, but something to be ended permanently. Jason carries the weight of abandonment and the fury of a life stolen from him, fueling a worldview shaped by pain rather than principle. Red Hood represents the question Batman refuses to answer. What happens when justice is no longer enough? Daredevil's powers stem from massively enhanced senses, hearing, touch, smell, taste, and spatial awareness, operating at superhuman levels that compensate fully for his blindness. His most defining ability is a radar sense that converts sound, air pressure, and environmental feedback into a precise three-dimensional awareness of his surroundings, allowing him to perceive movement, distance, and structure with exceptional accuracy. These heightened senses enable extreme combat effectiveness, including flawless acrobatics, pinpoint strikes, and the ability to detect heartbeats, lies, and subtle physiological changes. However, his powers come with a constant drawback. Sensory overload, meaning intense noise or chaotic environments, can disorient or incapacitate him if not carefully managed. Red Hood possesses no superhuman abilities, but operates at the absolute peak of human physical conditioning, combining elite strength, speed, agility, and endurance, honed through relentless combat experience. He is a master tactician and hand-to-hand combatant trained by Batman and further refined by global combat disciplines, giving him adaptability against metahuman and non-metahuman threats alike. Jason is an expert marksman and weapons specialist, favoring firearms, blades, and advanced gear to control encounters decisively and lethally. His greatest power is psychological, an unyielding willingness to cross lines others will not, allowing him to neutralize threats without hesitation or moral delay. Daredevil's feats demonstrate extreme close-quarters dominance, having consistently defeated armed opponents through superior reflexes, radar sense, and precision strikes. But his effectiveness diminishes as distance, sustained gunfire, and environmental chaos increase. Red Hood lacks superhuman senses, yet his feats include overpowering elite vigilantes, surviving encounters with Gotham's highest-tier combatants, and neutralizing threats through superior firepower, tactics, and lethal efficiency. Daredevil's primary weakness is sensory overload and his reliance on proximity, while Jason's weakness lies in hand-to-hand engagements against fighters who can outmaneuver and disarm him. In a neutral setting, Daredevil can evade initial attacks and dominate briefly if he closes the gap, but maintaining that advantage against sustained gunfire is unlikely. Overall, Red Hood wins the matchup by controlling range, exploiting Daredevil's vulnerabilities, and ending the fight decisively before it becomes a prolonged melee. Jason Todd secures the victory by refusing to fight on Daredevil's terms, controlling distance and tempo with superior weaponry and tactical planning. While Daredevil's skill and perception make him dangerous up close, Todd's willingness to escalate and end the conflict without hesitation removes that advantage. In the end, Red Hood wins not because he is stronger, but because he is willing to do what Daredevil will not. When willpower-fueled constructs meet cutting-edge technology, Green Lantern faces off against Iron Man in a battle of imagination versus innovation. Energy shields clash with repulsor blasts, as sheer creativity meets engineering brilliance in a fight that pushes both to their limits. Green Lantern is Hal Jordan, a fearless test pilot chosen by an alien power ring for his exceptional willpower and ability to overcome great fear. As a member of the Green Lantern Corps, he serves as an intergalactic lawman responsible for protecting an entire sector of the universe. His authority is backed by cosmic responsibility, discipline, and an unbreakable commitment to order. Hal's greatest strength is not physical power, but his refusal to surrender even when facing impossible odds. Green Lantern represents the idea that willpower, when absolute, can shape reality itself. Iron Man is Tony Stark, a genius inventor and industrialist who transformed his own survival into a technological revolution. Using his intellect rather than innate power, Stark engineered advanced armor capable of rivaling gods, armies, and cosmic threats. He operates as both a strategist and frontline combatant, constantly adapting his technology to evolving dangers. Tony's confidence masks deep accountability, as every failure pushes him to improve rather than retreat. Iron Man represents humanity's capacity to challenge the universe through intelligence, preparation, and relentless innovation. Green Lantern's power ring grants him the ability to create solid, light constructs limited only by his imagination and willpower. These constructs can range from simple weapons to complex machines, planetary-scale barriers, and precision tools capable of operating in space. The ring also provides enhanced strength, durability, flight, energy projection, and universal translation. While nearly limitless, the ring's effectiveness is directly tied to the user's mental focus and emotional stability. Iron Man's abilities derive entirely from his armor, which provides superhuman strength, extreme durability, flight, and high-output repulsor weaponry. His suits incorporate advanced AI, nanotechnology, energy shields, and real-time combat analysis that allow rapid tactical adaptation. Stark has demonstrated the ability to upgrade or switch armor mid-conflict to counter new threats. However, his power is dependent on technology, energy reserves, and system integrity rather than innate ability. Green Lantern's feats include restraining cosmic entities, surviving universe-level threats, and overpowering advanced civilizations through sheer will-driven constructs. Iron Man's feats include standing against gods, adapting to alien technology in real time, and defeating opponents far beyond baseline human capability through preparation and innovation. Green Lantern's primary weakness is psychological. Doubt, distraction, or emotional instability can limit the ring's output. Iron Man's weakness lies in prolonged engagements against overwhelming energy sources capable of bypassing or exhausting his armor systems. In a direct confrontation, Green Lantern's raw, scalable power and versatility eventually outpace Stark's technological counters. Iron Man's intelligence and adaptability allow him to survive the early stages of the fight and pressure Green Lantern with relentless innovation. However, Hal Jordan's willpower-driven constructs scale beyond technological limits and cannot be permanently out-engineered. Ultimately, Green Lantern wins by overwhelming Iron Man with superior cosmic power sustained by unbreakable will. When the shadows of Cairo meet the rooftops of Gotham, Moon Knight takes on Nightwing in a duel of agility, strategy, and relentless skill. Crescent blades clash with Eskrima sticks as two masters of stealth and combat test who truly rules the night. Moon Knight is Mark Spector, a former mercenary resurrected by the Egyptian god Khonshu and bound to serve as his chosen avatar. He operates at the intersection of vigilante justice and divine obligation, drawing power from faith, pain, and fractured identity. Unlike traditional heroes, Mark embraces brutality as a tool, enduring punishment others could not survive. His connection to Khonshu blurs the line between empowerment and manipulation, leaving his sanity in constant question. Moon Knight represents vengeance guided by belief rather than law, and justice enforced through endurance and fear. Nightwing is Dick Grayson, the first Robin and the most successful legacy to emerge from Batman's shadow. Trained from childhood by the Dark Knight, he refined that discipline into a more agile, hopeful, and emotionally balanced form of heroism. Dick combines elite acrobatics, tactical intelligence, and leadership earned through years of experience with the Bat family and the Titans. He fights with precision rather than rage, relying on timing, mobility, and control. Nightwing represents what Batman's mission looks like when it evolves into trust, adaptability, and growth. Moon Knight's physical abilities fluctuate depending on Khonshu's influence, at times granting him superhuman strength, durability, and accelerated healing. He possesses extreme pain tolerance and combat ferocity, allowing him to continue fighting through injuries that would incapacitate others. Mark is a skilled hand-to-hand combatant with military training and proficiency in multiple weapons. His powers are inconsistent, making him unpredictable, but also unreliable. Nightwing has no superhuman powers, but operates at peak human physical conditioning with exceptional speed, agility, and reflexes. He is a master acrobat and elite martial artist, combining multiple fighting styles into a fluid, adaptive combat approach. Dick relies on advanced gadgets, eskrima sticks, and environmental awareness to control engagements. His greatest advantage is composure, allowing him to analyze and counter opponents under pressure. Moon Knight's feats include overpowering enhanced opponents, surviving lethal injuries, and defeating enemies through sheer endurance and intimidation. Nightwing's feats include matching Batman-level combatants, leading elite teams, and consistently defeating physically superior foes through strategy and precision. Moon Knight's primary weakness is instability, as his power level and mental state can fluctuate mid-fight. Nightwing's weakness is his human durability, meaning prolonged punishment or a single critical mistake can be decisive. In a sustained engagement, Moon Knight's endurance and unpredictability gradually overwhelm Nightwing's calculated approach. Nightwing can control the early phases of the fight through speed, technique, and tactical awareness. However, Moon Knight's refusal to stay down and willingness to absorb damage shifts momentum over time. Ultimately, Moon Knight wins by outlasting Nightwing and breaking the fight through relentless, unyielding violence. When divine might meets gamma-fueled strength, Wonder Woman faces She-Hulk in a battle of power, skill, and unyielding resilience. Godly combat techniques clash with superhuman durability as every strike could tip the scales of victory. Wonder Woman is Diana of Themyscira, an Amazon warrior forged by divine influence and raised in a culture built on honor, combat, and truth. As both a princess and a champion, she bridges the world of gods and mortals with discipline and purpose. Her strength is matched by centuries of training, tactical intelligence, and an unbreakable warrior code. Diana does not seek domination, but she never retreats from battle when justice demands action. Wonder Woman represents strength guided by compassion and power tempered by wisdom and restraint. She-Hulk is Jennifer Walters, an accomplished attorney transformed by gamma radiation into a towering superhuman powerhouse. Unlike most gamma-enhanced beings, Jennifer retains her intelligence, self-awareness, and emotional control while in her transformed state. She balances overwhelming physical strength with wit, legal expertise, and confidence. Jennifer thrives in direct confrontation, relying on raw power and resilience rather than refined combat doctrine. She-Hulk represents the fusion of intellect and strength without the loss of identity. Wonder Woman possesses divine-level strength, speed, durability, and reflexes that rival the most powerful beings in existence. Her combat skill is unparalleled, refined through centuries of training against gods, monsters, and elite warriors. She wields enchanted weapons such as the Lasso of Truth, indestructible bracers, and a divine blade, each granting unique tactical advantages. Diana's power is consistent, disciplined, and amplified by battlefield experience. She-Hulk's abilities include immense superhuman strength, extreme durability, and accelerated healing derived from gamma radiation. Her strength increases with emotional engagement, though not as exponentially or uncontrollably as Hulk's. Jennifer maintains high cognitive function in combat, allowing her to strategize rather than rely solely on brute force. However, her fighting style remains primarily strength-based rather than technically refined. Wonder Woman's feats include defeating gods, titans, and cosmic-level threats through a combination of power, speed, and tactical mastery. She-Hulk's feats include overpowering top-tier superhumans, surviving catastrophic impacts, and enduring prolonged high-intensity battles. She-Hulk's primary advantage is raw physical strength and resilience, while her weakness lies in limited combat specialization against divine-level warriors. Wonder Woman's only vulnerability is restraint, as she often holds back unless fully committed. In a full confrontation, Diana's superior speed, skill, and divine weaponry allow her to neutralize She-Hulk's strength advantage. She-Hulk brings overwhelming physical force and stamina that would challenge nearly any opponent. However, Wonder Woman's combination of divine power, combat mastery, and tactical precision defines the flow of the fight. Ultimately, Wonder Woman wins by outmaneuvering, disarming, and decisively subduing She-Hulk. When relentless vengeance meets misguided patriotism, Punisher goes head-to-head with Peacemaker in a clash of firepower and ideology. Bullets fly and tactics collide as two uncompromising warriors test who can enforce their version of justice without holding back. Punisher is Frank Castle, a former Marine whose family was murdered, driving him to wage a relentless war on crime. He operates outside the law, using military training, tactical expertise, and a vast arsenal to eliminate criminals without hesitation. Frank's mission is absolute, leaving no room for compromise, mercy, or moral ambiguity. His relentlessness makes him a figure feared by organized crime and street-level threats alike. Punisher represents vengeance embodied, a human force of justice untempered by conscience or law. Peacemaker is Christopher Smith, a fervent patriot and mercenary committed to enforcing peace at any cost, no matter how extreme. He combines military skill, tactical training, and an obsession with his moral code to confront threats head-on. Unlike traditional heroes, Chris views lethal force as an acceptable tool for achieving his version of justice. His personality blends charm, delusion, and unwavering self-righteousness, often complicating his effectiveness. Peacemaker represents the extremes of ideology, where conviction and violence are inseparable. Punisher has no superhuman powers, but is an elite human combatant with peak military conditioning, marksmanship, and tactical expertise. He is proficient with virtually all firearms, explosives, and melee weapons, able to plan and execute complex operations against heavily armed opponents. Frank's endurance and pain tolerance allow him to continue fighting under extreme physical stress. His weakness is purely human. He can be injured or incapacitated by conventional means, and his reliance on preparation can be exploited if surprised. Peacemaker has no superhuman powers, relying on military-grade weaponry, tactical training, and hand-to-hand combat skill. He is highly skilled with firearms and explosives, and often improvises in chaotic combat situations. His resolve and willingness to die for his mission make him exceptionally dangerous, as he prioritizes objectives over self-preservation. His main weaknesses are human limitations and overconfidence, which can lead to tactical errors. Punisher's feats include taking down organized crime networks, surviving ambushes, and executing meticulously planned operations against superior numbers. Peacemaker's feats include single-handedly confronting heavily armed enemies, completing near-suicidal missions, and adapting quickly in unpredictable combat. Punisher's advantage is meticulous planning, patience, and lethal precision, while Peacemaker's is audacity, relentlessness, and improvisational aggression. Both are vulnerable to conventional human injury, but Punisher's preparation generally outmatches Peacemaker's impulsive approach. In a head-to-head engagement, Punisher can exploit Peacemaker's overconfidence and impatience to control and eliminate the threat. Peacemaker fights with reckless determination, making him dangerous in chaotic scenarios. However, Punisher's strategic mind, tactical foresight, and disciplined precision allow him to dictate the battlefield. Ultimately, Punisher wins by outsmarting and overpowering Peacemaker before his recklessness can gain traction. When tactical genius meets peak human combat mastery, Captain America squares off against Deathstroke in a battle of strategy and skill. Shield and sword clash as precision, agility, and relentless training push both warriors to their absolute limits. Captain America is Steve Rogers, a super soldier and symbol of courage, honor, and resilience. Enhanced by the super soldier serum, he possesses peak human strength, speed, endurance, and reflexes, making him a formidable combatant. As both a tactician and warrior, he combines martial skill, leadership, and an indomitable will to face threats far beyond ordinary human capacity. Steve wields his iconic vibranium shield with precision, using it for offense, defense, and strategy. Captain America represents the ideal of unwavering moral conviction, paired with unmatched battlefield skill. Deathstroke is Slade Wilson, the world's deadliest mercenary and assassin, enhanced by a military experiment granting superhuman strength, speed, agility, and healing. He is a master tactician, strategist, and combatant, capable of taking on multiple elite opponents simultaneously. Slade's expertise spans firearms, explosives, swords, and hand-to-hand combat, making him a versatile and lethal threat. His professional detachment and ruthless efficiency leave no room for hesitation. Deathstroke represents the ultimate combination of human enhancement, experience, and cold-blooded precision. Captain America's powers include peak human physical abilities in strength, speed, reflexes, and durability, all enhanced by the super soldier serum. He is an expert in multiple martial arts, tactical combat, and battlefield strategy. His vibranium shield grants additional offensive and defensive capabilities, allowing him to control engagements at close and mid-range. While nearly perfect for a human, his limitations include reliance on stamina and vulnerability to overwhelming force or prolonged assaults. Deathstroke's superhuman enhancements grant him enhanced strength, speed, agility, reflexes, and a regenerative healing factor. He is an unparalleled hand-to-hand combatant, marksman, and tactician, capable of exploiting opponents' weaknesses instantly. Slade is proficient with every type of weapon and can plan and adapt in the middle of combat with ruthless efficiency. His primary vulnerability is overconfidence, as his calculated nature can sometimes underestimate unpredictable tactics or highly moral opponents. Captain America's feats include taking on entire battalions, outmaneuvering superhuman foes, and leading teams to victory against overwhelmingly powerful enemies. Deathstroke's feats include defeating multiple superheroes, surviving extreme assaults, and completing near-impossible assassinations through strategy and efficiency. Cap's advantage is unbreakable willpower, superior leadership, and precision with his shield, while Slade's advantage is lethal versatility, enhanced regeneration, and tactical genius. Both are highly skilled combatants, but Cap relies on moral restraint, which Deathstroke can exploit. In a head-to-head battle, Deathstroke's lethal efficiency and enhanced abilities give him the edge against Cap's disciplined but human limits. Captain America can withstand tremendous punishment and fight strategically, but his moral code limits the extremes he will go to. Deathstroke's enhancements, lethal skill set, and ruthless adaptability allow him to exploit any opening. Ultimately, Deathstroke wins by outmatching Cap in both physical and tactical terms, while leveraging his regenerative edge. When the universe's ultimate bounty hunter meets the merc with a mouth, chaos and carnage are inevitable. Lobo's brute strength and cosmic durability collide with Deadpool's unpredictable skills and regenerative madness in a fight where anything goes. Superman is Clark Kent, the last son of Krypton, whose alien physiology grants him immense strength, speed, durability, and near-limitless energy absorption under a yellow sun. As a symbol of hope and justice, he uses his powers to protect Earth and its people from threats both terrestrial and cosmic. Beyond raw power, Superman is a master tactician and highly skilled in hand-to-hand combat, enhanced by centuries of experience against formidable opponents. His abilities include heat vision, freeze breath, flight, and super senses that make him nearly omnipresent in battle. Superman represents the ideal of absolute power tempered by unwavering morality and self-discipline. Sentry is Robert Reynolds, a human granted the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, giving him near godlike strength, speed, and invulnerability. Alongside his physical might, he possesses energy projection, molecular manipulation, flight, and a regenerative factor that renders him nearly immortal. Sentry struggles with his darker side, the Void, a destructive force born from his psyche that can manifest unpredictably in combat. Despite his instability, he acts with heroic intent, making him one of Earth's most powerful defenders. Sentry represents the extreme potential of human enhancement, where godlike power coexists with fragile humanity. Superman possesses superhuman strength, speed, durability, flight, heat vision, freeze breath, X-ray and telescopic vision, and super hearing. His powers are fueled by yellow solar energy, allowing near-limitless output and resistance to most conventional attacks. He is a seasoned combatant with decades of experience fighting gods, aliens, and cosmic entities. His primary weaknesses include kryptonite, red solar radiation, and attacks targeting his moral restraint. Sentry's powers include virtually limitless superhuman strength, speed, stamina, energy manipulation, molecular control, flight, and near immortality. He can generate destructive energy equivalent to the force of 1,000,000 suns, and has a regenerative healing factor that can recover from catastrophic damage. Sentry's combat effectiveness is magnified by his experience and unpredictable tactics influenced by the Void. His greatest weakness is psychological instability, where the Void can consume or conflict with his consciousness, causing erratic behavior. Superman's feats include lifting planets, surviving supernovae, and battling cosmic-level threats such as Doomsday and Darkseid. Sentry's feats include matching and overpowering Thor, Hulk, and other top-tier Marvel heroes, as well as containing the Void's destructive potential at critical moments. Superman has superior experience in sustained, disciplined combat and versatile powers, but is constrained by morality and certain vulnerabilities. Sentry's advantage lies in raw, almost limitless power and energy projection, though his unstable psyche introduces unpredictability. In a direct confrontation, Sentry's overwhelming destructive potential and regenerative capacity give him the upper hand over Superman's disciplined but comparatively constrained approach. Superman brings unmatched skill, versatility, and moral clarity to any fight, making him a resilient and formidable opponent. However, Sentry's virtually limitless strength, energy output, and regenerative abilities create a scenario that exceeds even Superman's best efforts. Ultimately, Sentry wins by leveraging raw power and near immortality to outlast and overpower Superman, despite the risk of psychological instability. Next up, Deadpool vs. Lobo would result in a fight that never ends because neither can die. Lobo is an intergalactic bounty hunter from Zarnia, a being of immense strength, durability, and regenerative capability. Known for his brutality, dark humor, and unrelenting aggression, he lives by his own rules and answers to no one. Lobo possesses near immortality, making him virtually unkillable and capable of surviving extreme physical trauma. He thrives on chaos and destruction, often turning conflicts into personal amusement. Lobo represents pure, unrestrained power paired with merciless pragmatism and irreverent humor. Deadpool is Wade Wilson, a mercenary and anti-hero infused with a regenerative healing factor that makes him virtually immortal. Known for his chaotic humor, unpredictability, and breaking of the fourth wall, he is as dangerous psychologically as he is physically. Deadpool is a master combatant, proficient with firearms, blades, explosives, and unorthodox tactics. His healing factor allows him to survive injuries that would be fatal to almost anyone else. Deadpool represents chaos, unpredictability, and resilience, often turning impossible situations into opportunities for creative, if unconventional, outcomes. Lobo possesses superhuman strength, speed, endurance, and reflexes far beyond most cosmic beings. He is virtually immortal, able to regenerate from almost any injury, including dismemberment or decapitation. Lobo is an expert in hand-to-hand combat and skilled with a wide range of weaponry, often improvising destructively. His weakness is minimal, mostly limited to magical attacks or extreme cosmic forces that surpass even his regenerative abilities. Deadpool's primary power is his regenerative healing factor, allowing him to recover from nearly any injury, including decapitation or total dismemberment. He is an expert marksman and melee fighter, combining conventional combat skill with unorthodox improvisation. Deadpool's unpredictability and chaotic fighting style make him extremely difficult to anticipate in battle. His main weaknesses are psychological. His instability, overconfidence, and occasional inability to focus can be exploited. Lobo's feats include surviving planetary-level destruction, defeating cosmic-level opponents, and overwhelming teams of superheroes with sheer brute force. Deadpool's feats include taking on superhuman armies, surviving catastrophic events, and continually improvising to exploit enemies' weaknesses. Lobo's advantage lies in raw power, combat experience, and near invulnerability, while Deadpool's lies in regeneration, unpredictability, and limitless endurance. Both are effectively immortal, meaning the fight is determined by creativity, stamina, and willingness to escalate. Lobo has the edge in pure, destructive capability, but Deadpool's erratic tactics and resilience make him a persistent and chaotic threat. Lobo can dominate with overwhelming strength, durability, and lethal precision, making him a terrifying force in combat. Deadpool's regenerative abilities and unpredictable behavior allow him to survive and counterattack in ways few opponents can anticipate. Ultimately, Lobo wins through sheer power and combat efficiency, though Deadpool would make the fight chaotic, drawn-out, and brutally entertaining. When raw cosmic energy meets dark mystical power, Captain Marvel faces off against Raven in a battle that spans both physical and psychic realms. Photon blasts clash with shadow magic as heroism and sorcery collide with devastating intensity. Captain Marvel is Carol Danvers, a former Air Force pilot who gained cosmic powers after exposure to alien energy. She possesses superhuman strength, speed, durability, and the ability to manipulate and project energy at devastating levels. Carol is a skilled combatant and tactician, capable of fighting both on Earth and in space against formidable foes. Her powers allow her to fly at near-light speeds and survive in extreme environments without support. Captain Marvel represents the pinnacle of human potential amplified by cosmic energy, combining courage, skill, and raw power. Raven is Rachel Roth, a half-demon empath and sorceress whose powers are derived from her connection to her demonic father, Trigon. She wields potent magical abilities, including telekinesis, energy projection, astral manipulation, and teleportation. Raven's empathy allows her to sense, manipulate, and absorb emotions, giving her a unique edge against opponents on both physical and psychological levels. Her calm, disciplined mind is essential, as losing control can unleash catastrophic magical backlash. Raven represents the fusion of magic, mental discipline, and emotional control in the pursuit of balance and justice. Captain Marvel possesses superhuman strength, speed, stamina, and durability, capable of surviving planetary-level threats and extreme cosmic conditions. She can absorb and project vast amounts of energy, using it for devastating blasts or flight at near-light speeds. Her combat training and tactical experience make her formidable in both ranged and close-quarters combat. Her weaknesses are primarily energy-dependent. Prolonged depletion or overwhelming energy attacks can reduce her effectiveness. Raven's powers include telekinesis, astral projection, teleportation, energy manipulation, and empathic absorption of emotions. Her magical abilities can disrupt, immobilize, or incapacitate opponents, making her extremely versatile. Raven's effectiveness relies on mental focus and emotional stability, as loss of control can cause severe backlash. Her primary vulnerability is psychological. Attacks on her mind or emotions can weaken her defenses and amplify risk. Captain Marvel's feats include surviving supernovae, taking on intergalactic threats, and overwhelming opponents with energy blasts and supersonic combat. Raven's feats include restraining powerful magical and demonic entities, teleporting across vast distances, and neutralizing high-level superhuman threats using magic and mind-based attacks. Captain Marvel's advantage is raw physical power, speed, and durability, while Raven's advantage lies in versatility, magic, and mental manipulation. Both have vulnerabilities. Carol can be overwhelmed by sustained energy or cosmic-level threats, and Raven by mental attacks or emotional instability. In a head-to-head battle, Captain Marvel's speed and destructive energy output can outpace Raven's magical defenses before she can gain full control of the fight. Raven can manipulate minds and energy with great skill, but her powers require focus and stability to match raw physical threats. Captain Marvel's overwhelming speed, strength, and energy projection are an advantage, but Raven has mind control. Ultimately, Raven wins due to the amount of power she has as an innate ability that is magnified the more emotional she gets. When two cosmic powerhouses collide, the clash between Jean Grey and Starfire reshapes the battlefield itself. Phoenix-level telekinesis meets solar-powered fury in a fight where every strike could alter reality. Jean Grey is a mutant and one of the most powerful telepaths and telekinetics on Earth. She possesses abilities that allow her to read and manipulate minds, move objects with thought, and project psychic energy offensively and defensively. As a founding member of the X-Men, Jean combines her powers with intelligence, combat training, and strategic thinking. Her connection to the Phoenix Force amplifies her potential to near-cosmic levels, though control is essential to prevent catastrophic consequences. Jean Grey represents the delicate balance between immense power and mental discipline, embodying both human emotion and extraordinary capability. Starfire is Coriander, a Tamaranian princess whose physiology grants her superhuman strength, flight, durability, and the ability to absorb and project stellar energy. Trained as a warrior from a young age, she combines combat skill with her alien powers to defend her allies and fight injustice. Her energy projection, called Starbolts, allows her to unleash devastating attacks over vast distances. Starfire thrives on passion and determination, often using her emotions to fuel her strength and resolve. She represents raw power guided by compassion, loyalty, and a warrior's discipline. Jean Grey's primary abilities include telepathy, telekinesis, and psychic energy projection, allowing her to manipulate minds, objects, and energy with precision. When connected to the Phoenix Force, her powers escalate to near-universal scale, enabling matter manipulation, resurrection, and vast energy output. She is highly intelligent and trained in combat tactics, which enhances her effectiveness in strategic battles. Her main vulnerabilities are mental strain, emotional instability, and the potential loss of control when her power exceeds her focus. Starfire's abilities include superhuman strength, speed, flight, durability, and energy absorption and projection in the form of starbolts. Her combat proficiency and warrior training make her effective in both ranged and close-quarters battles. Starfire's powers are fueled by her emotions, allowing her to escalate attacks under high motivation. Her weaknesses include overexertion, emotional vulnerability, and the reliance on solar energy to sustain peak performance. Jean Grey's feats include mentally dominating powerful telepaths, lifting massive objects with telekinesis, and surviving attacks that would destroy ordinary beings. Starfire's feats include taking on superhuman teams, flying at supersonic speeds, and obliterating heavily armed enemies with energy projection. Jean's advantage lies in her psychic and telekinetic abilities, which can manipulate or incapacitate opponents at a distance, while Starfire's advantage is raw physical power, flight, and energy attacks. Jean's vulnerability is her mental focus and emotional control, while Starfire can be hampered by exhaustion or emotional distraction. In a confrontation, Jean's ability to control the battlefield, psychically, gives her the edge over Starfire's more direct, emotion-driven assaults. Starfire's strength, flight, and energy attacks make her a formidable opponent in any battle. However, Jean Grey's telepathy and telekinesis allow her to manipulate both Starfire and the environment to her advantage. Ultimately, Jean Grey wins by controlling the fight from a distance and neutralizing Starfire before raw power alone can decide the outcome. So, who do you think came out on top? Let us know in the comments, whether you agree or disagree, and tell us why. The community loves breaking down these matchups, and we want to hear your reasoning, theories, and even wild alternate outcomes. If you enjoyed this Clash of Legends, hit that like button and subscribe for more daily comic glitch content. We're bringing you epic battles, comic-accurate feats, and the ultimate hero versus hero breakdowns every single day. Stay tuned and join the discussion.